The US leader dispelled suggestions he and Chancellor Merkel were engaged in fractious debate and said the world leaders were merely waiting for the final communiqué to be returned. Speaking at a press conference following his summit with Kim Jong-un, President Trump said, "The picture with Angela Merkel, who I get along with very well, where I'm sitting there with my arms crossed, that picture was we're waiting for the document because I wanted to see the final document has changed by the changes that I requested. That was a very friendly, I know it didn't look friendly, and I know it was reported as sort of like nasty both ways, I was angry at her or she. Actually, we were just talking, the whole group, about something unrelated to everything, very friendly." President Trump nevertheless caused controversy at the summit after refusing to sign the final communiqué shortly after leaving Canada and launching a personal attack on Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. The US leader accused the G7 nations of robbing the US and stated his nation had been taken advantage of for decades and decades in global trade. He also responded sharply to Mr. Trudeau's press conference in which the Canadian leader criticized President Trump's decision to implement trade tariffs against countries including the EU, Canada, UK and Mexico. Writing on Twitter, President Trump said, "PM Justin Trudeau of Canada acted so meek and mild during our G7 meetings, only to give a news conference after I left saying that US tariffs were kind of insulting and he will not be pushed around. Very dishonest and weak. Our tariffs are in response to his of 270% on dairy." G7 leaders have since responded to the fractious meetings in Canada and criticized President Trump's behavior. Speaking in the House of Commons, Theresa May said, "This was a difficult summit, with at times some very candid discussions. But the conclusion I draw is that it is only through continued dialogue that we can find ways to work together to resolve the challenges we face." The countries round the G7 table have been pillars of the rules-based international order, which has benefited all our citizens and, I believe, the world as a whole. The United Kingdom, with our allies and partners, will continue to play our part in promoting that order to the benefit of all. Chancellor Merkel launched a more direct attack, describing President Trump's behavior as sobering and slightly depressing. She said, "The situation is not pleasant. I don't think that taking the rhetoric up a few notches is going to make things much better."